All right, so you got to know Nicolas Cage this week. I'm actually really excited about this because for a really long time, I've suspected he was some kind of ESFJ. I was kind of suspecting he was more on the masculine side. Like, I thought maybe even, like, double masculine. But it does not surprise me that he's any. So you got some clips on him. I'd love to kind of find out, like, diving into him, what you learned about
I thought he was
Nicolas.
an ENFJ.
Oh, really?
Like, he seems SE.
Oh, that's interesting.
Seems SE cool guy, seems SE strong, seems SE buff.
I think we've done that a couple of times on people that are FE any, where we feel like they're an ENFJ just because you're like, merge the two observers together, but that's FE at the top. I know what that is.
What you'll definitely see is that he's definitely OE.
Yeah,
and he's definitely N. So
right.
I don't know what you call that.
Right.
I want to make him an ENFJ, but...
This is a rare type, too, so I'm very excited to kind of like... And it makes sense that Nicolas Cage would be a rare type because he's such a unique character. Yes.
And like the internet like grabs him like that's, FENE, like emotions, ridiculous, funny. Okay, that's all starting to make sense.
Oh, that's really
good. Like who do you play in the tribe?
Right, really
I play
good.
Nicolas Cage. Like you can get pillows and stuff with his face on it. Put an image of that right here.
That's comforting. I really want to go to sleep with that right next to me.
You just might. It's hard to find presents for you.
Yeah,
I think I might have found one.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
So he's turns out he's a really good guy, and I've always I always wasn't sure if I liked him or hated him. Like, you see a movie with him in it, you're like, oh, great, it's gonna be one of these bullshit movies. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be a B rated. But then whenever you watch a movie with him in it, you're like, fuck, he's actually a really good actor.
So good.
Yeah.
He's one of the few actors that, like, I feel like you're right. Personality wise, he kind of annoys me, but like every time he's doing the acting, you're like pulled in. You believe.
I feel like whatever I don't like about him, it's me, not him.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right. So I feel like I was able to kind of settle that because now I definitely like him.
Yeah. So now you know it's you.
Yeah. Right. Definitely just start there next time. So he's in we'll talk about this at the end, but he's in a movie that focuses on him. So he plays Nicolas Cage in a movie and he goes down south to be like a paid entertainer for like a South American dictator. This is all just I got from the trailer, right?
How random.
And so the CIA figures out like, wait, Nicolas Cage is down there in South America. Like, like Dennis Rodman goes like North Korea or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Or Sean Penn will go somewhere you shouldn't get into.
And they're like, let's put a bug on you.
That. Hey, so while you're down there, being friends with the dictator, here, just wear this.
Yeah.
And so he turns into one of those scenarios, right?
Okay.
So Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage. Now, if you're an EJ, that's really weird because it's like he processes at the end of the clips.
I don't want to be myself. It's being myself is vulnerable because my opinions are now actually on the chopping block. Being an actor would be easy because you're like, if you don't like the character, that's fine. It's not me.
Right.
But what if you don't like me?
Right. So that's what we're going to see. Like out of all the cool, funny stuff he does, that's the thing that bothers him.
Oh, yeah.
On the subject of aliens, if you ever to accidentally watch this movie, I accidentally watched this movie on Netflix.
This is so good.
I'd say it's probably one of my top 10, easily possibly top 5. I know the graphics might be a little bad, like 2009, the story's a little cheesy or whatever, but like it really makes you think about aliens and how life gets to different planets and Bible stories and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't want to ruin the ending for you, but I kind of do. But it's actually really, really enjoyable.
It was
just,
really
just
good.
the Dave movie. Just
yeah,
the Dave.
I think I cried in that one. I feel like I cried.
All right, so this first clip, he's going to come out. He's 25 years old, 26. He's going to do cartwheels. You're going to see the desperate EJ of Please Like Me.
Oh, God.
No! See, Essie! That's Essie! Essie can't do that. No! He's Essie throwing shit. Essie! Yeah! Essie kick.
How you doing?
Well, understatement's the watchword tonight.
Oh, hang on a second. My mic, darn it. All that physical
it caused chaos.
You did a bit of that in Wild at Heart when you're dancing.
Sure did.
All those karate kicks.
Oh, heck, I'll just hold it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I just had to get off my chest. I was a bit wound up back there, so.
Were you? Worked up.
I'm just a little worked up.
Do you get carried away?
Well, you are responsible to get your emotions out. I was a little wound up, so how to get the energy out through SE chaos, because I'm an SE badass. I feel like he's one of those guys that could beat you up. The masculine SE where you're always sizing up. Can I beat that guy up? Like,
that's what you do.
I think I want to be able to beat up Nicolas Cage, but I probably couldn't. At least 50% of the time.
If he's that wound up, I
think the guy can handle himself. Anyways, you get that desperate energy. So now it's a modern time. This is going to be funny. This is really funny because it's the demon TI of like, well, I don't know my truth. You don't know your truth. So what's the answer? The answer is whatever you want it to be. Like, dude, how do I meet you at Denny's? Just however you want. Like, there's multiple ways of truth. No. No, there's not multiple ways of truth, weirdo.
Why does Nicolas Cage drink soda in Willy's Wonderland? Well, you probably know the answer to that better than I do. I think anything that you think as to why is a far better answer than anything I could offer you. That is your personal connection with the character in Willy's Wonderland and your personal connection with what's in the soda can. It can be whatever you want. And
No, it's wrong.
Does Nicolas Cage find the pig? I can't answer that. The answer is actually in the movie, but you may have another answer for it that might be more appropriate for your version of the movie. Is Nicolas Cage a genius? I could never answer that. That's you answer that.
You answer it!
Is Nicolas Cage a nice guy? I hope so. I try to be. I aspire to be.
Okay, you're a nice guy.
Okay,
We do love your Effie. We do love your Effie.
I know. I love this guy. So you know what he reminds me?
He'll answer you on this one.
He reminds me of Dr. Phil, but chaotic. Like, won't conclude.
I won't answer that.
He reminds me a lot of Dr. Phil.
What do you mean soda and the pig? Like, look, either the pig got out, yes or no.
Okay.
Either you were drinking Tab because it was the 1980s, or you weren't.
Right.
Just tell us the fucking answer. Whatever you want it to be.
But Any is responsible for accepting any and all
It's
possibilities.
also Demon S too, huh?
Yes. That's what I'm seeing. I'm like, yes, I'm seeing the demon TI. Like, I won't make an answer. I don't want to answer it for you. I definitely see that. Like, that's every DE is going to feel that to some extent, but also very much like, I won't conclude.
Right. So here you're going to see intuition. You're going to see guessing in a savior state. I know all the goddamn ESFPs out there think they're fucking rocket. Can you guess shit in a savior state? A lot. Whether you're right or wrong doesn't matter. Because savior state, you'll catch the next one.
Right.
Can Nicolas Cage, shall I guess what it is before I open it? Can Nicolas Cage sing? See? Telepathy. Sometimes I sing. I used to go in karaoke, and that's fun. I find it relaxing. But I wouldn't say I'm a professional singer by any stretch of the imagination.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, more imagination.
Yes.
See telepathy. Like,
Yes.
and he knows, like the Ennies especially double observers in the middle like that. Like, they know they can figure out shit. They know they can, like, see around corners. They know they can see what's coming next.
That would be one
and
of the
cool
best.
about it.
So if you have Ennie as a savior and you're a double observer, you would be one of the best at guessing.
Yeah.
I would still think, though, when it comes to people,
my
when it
mom's
comes
type.
to yourself, and it comes to the people closest to you, you would just be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, totally.
At understanding yourself and understanding the
Also
people
my mom.
closest to you.
Also my mom.
But things, you would just be a genius master at going, oh, this is what it is. This is what they're going to talk about.
I feel like the masculine sensory gives you like my mom with the feminine sensory. Whether feminine sensory is a savior or not, has a really hard time with the physical universe. Feels like. Yeah. All right. So this next clip, this is where he's talking with Jimmy Kimmel. Hey, you're playing a movie, playing yourself. And so Jimmy, who's an EP, sounds like the director and the other actors. Sounds like they're just all a bunch of bros, but probably just a bunch of EPs, IJs, whatever, just observer guys, right?
Okay.
They're like, hey, cool, man. You get to play a movie where you play yourself. That's fucking cool. Here, have a beer, right?
Do you have any hesitation about playing a character called Nicolas Cage in the movie?
You have no idea.
I would imagine you would.
See, as actors, we like to hide behind a character, but as soon as the character has your own name, it's a whole different ballgame.
And it almost never happens, really.
It hasn't happened before, and it hopefully will never happen again. I was terrified. I didn't know if they wanted to do some sort of an Andy Samberg SNL mock fest. And,
Right.
Tom, the
Intuition.
director, wrote me a very intelligent letter. And I knew from his letter that he was a genuine film enthusiast. And he wanted to make a movie about people. Funny, it was absurd comedy, but also some heartstrings, some nuance, some emotion. So I felt that I was in good hands. And I'm very happy. I'm
and
happy.
you can tell that Tom, what's Tom's last name?
Gormican.
Tom is obviously a huge, perhaps even like somebody you should get a restraining order against level fan.
Well, I think he just loves movies. I did ask Pedro about Tom at one point, and I said, Pedro, what's going on with that guy? And he said, well, he's kind of like my character in the movie. He's kind of like Javi, you know, he's obsessed.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
Okay, well, that, of course, relaxed me. I do hope you guys see it in the cinema, because I did see it in South by at the film festival, and everybody was laughing. It felt like the old days before the
It's hilarious. It is genuinely hilarious.
Thank
And
you.
the chemistry between you and Pedro is fantastic.
Well, he's just a great actor.
He is great.
And you couldn't
The
ask
other
for a
guy.
nicer man to work with. I mean, he's a really nice guy. And
Let's
so that
get back
makes
to
it
DE business. Let's get back to talking about the other guy. Let's get the hell out of this conversation.
Right.
Anyways, Pedro, the guy I was working with. I believe Pedro is an IJ. Nicolas Cage trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, is it okay? So Pedro, so what's going on? Like, all of a sudden the tribe was talking about me. Where am I at?
And then also asking him, you, Pedro, who I'm comfortable with, you tell me about this other guy because I can't figure out this other guy.
Right.
Like, that's what's so weird about This is, you would think if you're staring at the tribe all the time as a EJ, as DE at the top,
you're horrible. You're the worst at it.
Because
you're the worst at tribe.
Once your DI gets fucked off, that's what's going on.
Feels like whatever the function is at the top, it's like the football game with like the Hail Mary, where it's like, yeah, but one time I threw the ball all the way down and we scored a touchdown. Like, okay, that was pretty impressive. I'll give you that.
Right.
The lead NI guy, one time they guessed the stock market and they were right on. I'll give you that. One time the lead EJ guy, they said, watch out for this person, and they were totally right.
Dead on.
I'll give you that one. But canary in the coal mine, you got this weird weak spot back here.
It's the I'm pissing in the corner.
The other 9 out of 10 times,
Yeah,
if you're not throwing a Hail Mary, you're fucking up all the little stuff with it with the IJs. With
Right.
the like, hey, nice plan, but did you research the thing?
Because he can't make other people happy if he is feeling insecure. If we could go through predicting, I mean, this is the whole point of like typing somebody. You're like, okay, he's gonna ask him about identity, self in a movie. This is the EJ story, so he should tell him the EJ story as long as he's being honest. I'm thankful that he was being so honest.
Right.
That's what makes him so likable.
Right.
Is if you have somebody that is like, by the way, that's my greatest fear, and you're like, oh, what a relief.
Right.
Okay, cool. You're an
He's
EJ.
sharing. You just have to be ready to believe it.
I know.
Like I just wouldn't believe it.
I still have that with you. I do not
I know.
believe, you know, I will feel judged all the time when you disagree with something. I'm like, oh, it's because you didn't like something and you don't want it
I'm
and
just
you're not
scared
letting
of colors.
Literally.
Like this light. It's like it's freaking me out right now. There's a light on my neck right now.
Yeah, we had a 30-minute
There's
conversation
a light
about
on my
the light.
neck. There's a light on my neck. I don't
It
like
was
light on my
pink,
neck.
so that freaked him out. So I changed it to yellow.
It's still on my neck.
But if we don't have it, it looks super flat.
There's not light on this neck. There's light on this neck. No judgment here.